In this video, I will show you how to connect electrical devices such as receptacles and lighting, and also other electrical equipment that needs to go into the electrical panels. So the first thing you need to do is you need to lay out your receptacles, your lighting, and other equipment that you may have. The next thing you will need to have is your electrical panel. So here's our electrical panel, and let's start connecting some loads. So we're gonna click on the electrical panel. Then we're gonna go to edit schedule. And here we have our electrical schedule. It's empty. We're gonna go ahead and click on the electrical plan. And then we're gonna create a duplicated screen to see both of the plans and the electrical schedule. We're gonna start connecting the electrical devices. So let's go ahead and start with the receptacles. First thing you need to do is click on the receptacle, go to power, and then select your electrical panel. So in this case, because I have so many electrical panels, I will go ahead and type here the name of my electrical panel, which is BL2. Click on it, and then here we're gonna have a receptacle break room 309. You can always change the name of the description if you like. However, I'm gonna keep it this way. So now, since we have all the receptacles that need to be connected, we're gonna go ahead and connect 6 receptacles or 7 receptacles, however you think is best. Just make sure you don't overload the circuit breaker. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect this receptacle to this receptacle. So you're gonna have to select here, and then go to electrical circuits, go to edit circuits, add to circuit, and I'm gonna go ahead and add this receptacle. I'm gonna add this one, so now I have 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go ahead and just add those 5, and I'm gonna click finish editing circuit, and now I have 5 receptacles in one circuit, in circuit number 1. Okay, so let me change this description here to receptacles break room 309, and make sure that you're not overloading the circuit here. So right here we have 900 VA. So the easiest way to check, you go to your calculator, type 900 divided by 120 volt, because this electrical panel is 120 208 volt panel. So we have 7.5 amps, and this circuit breaker is for 20 amps, so we are within the range. The next thing that I would do is I would tag the devices. I will go to annotate, and I will go to tag category, or I could also use a command TG and tag my device. So there we go. We have all our devices tagged. And if you want to delete the arrows, then you just click here and just move your tag accordingly. All right, so the next thing we need to do is we have a oven, we have a dishwasher here. So we have a few GFCI receptacles that are required by code in a sink area or a kitchen area or a cafe area. Whatever you have a sink, you will need GFCI receptacles. So we're gonna go ahead and connect your GFCI receptacles. So this, we're gonna go ahead and connect this guy first, and this guy. So we're gonna connect the 2 circuits. So we're gonna go ahead and power, click on the receptacle on the circuit where you want to add this second receptacle here, and you finish, and then that will go right here. So here we have a receptacle break room. You can leave it like that, or you can add a different description and power that as well. And then for this one, actually, let's say we want to make this a dishwasher receptacle. So I'm going to go ahead and edit and create a new dishwasher receptacle. And I'm going to have this receptacle have 500 VA instead of 180 VA. Actually, I will make it a 1000 VA. And I'm going to And now I have my dishwasher receptacle, and I'm gonna go ahead and connect this to my PL2 panel. And here I'm gonna call this a dishwasher. And the last thing you need to do here is you're gonna tag your equipment, you're gonna tag your receptacles. You have all of the receptacles, the general receptacles in the break room are done. You have the receptacles in the sink area, they're done, they're connected. We have this little restroom here, and we're gonna go ahead and connect the electrical equipment for the restroom. So we're gonna connect this guy, the electrical panel. We're gonna call this one restroom receptacle. Right here we have some type of HVAC, and that looks to be above ceiling, so we're gonna go ahead and we have a connector. We're gonna go ahead and power that up. So let's look at the loading on this device. So it looks to be a 208 volt 3-phase HVAC unit, and it is loaded for 3,333 VA or 3.3 kVA per phase. So we're gonna go ahead and click on this device here, go to power, then we're gonna go ahead and select our HVAC equipment. I'm just gonna call this HVAC break room, and our load, as you can see here, is 3.3 kVA per phase. So we need to size the electrical breaker. So let's go ahead and pull up our calculator. We have 3.333 kVA. Then we're gonna divide that by 120 volt because that's per phase, and that is going to be 27.77. So that means that our breaker can be up to, let's do 1.25. So our breaker can be 40 amp. So we can use a 40 amp breaker. Our breaker is gonna be loaded more than 80% of its rating. That's why I chose 40 amp breaker. All right. So next thing we need to do here is we can create a home run. So for a home run, we are going to use a command called EW. And then once you type EW, you will have a home run or an arrow. And then you can tag your home run, and you can use TG. And then there you have your label. And then last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna connect the lighting. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. We're gonna power this light fixture right here. And then we're gonna select the remaining fixtures. So electrical circuits, edit circuit, gonna add circuit, and add all the lighting. And we're gonna finish, and then we're gonna call it lighting break room / restroom. And the last thing we have to do here is make sure all of the calculations and all of the VA are within range of every circuit breakers. Oops. Okay, so now we can go back to the electric panel schedule, and then we can select the circuits that we are not using, and we can change them to blinks or spares. So you're gonna go ahead and select the ones that you want to keep as space or blinks. I'm gonna go ahead and select all of this, and then the rest of them you can make them as spares. And then your electrical panel is pretty much done. You need to make sure that you fill out all the labels here. So the location for where the electrical panel is located, where this electrical panel is fed from, the mounting, if it's recessed or if it's surface mounted, the enclosure type, if it's an IMA 1 for an indoor installation, if it's another installation, you would have an IMA 3. The voltage rating for your panel is 122.08. You have 3 phases, 4 wires, the available fault current. This is something that you will need to run in SKM or ETAP. and then you're most likely gonna have something, for example, for this project, something maybe like 22,000 AIC. Your mains type, so for this panel, I believe is a 100 amp panel that we're working with. So that would be your mains, and then we add that in here, and the mains rating. And if it's an MCB, you would just put 100 amps here. And then finally, we're gonna go ahead and check the load classification here. I'm gonna put this up here. So we did have some receptacles, lighting, and then HVAC unit. Make sure that your demand factors are correct. You can always reference to the code. Revit has already some demand factors that are standard for the electrical devices. But make sure if this is not correct, just make sure that you change it. And then here you have your total connected load, 35 amps, and then your total estimated demand load is 42 amps. So everything here looks to be fine. At 42 amps demand load is less than the 100 amp rating for this MCB electrical panel. And that is how you set up an electrical schedule. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see some more videos, please subscribe. Thank you.